So again, welcome back. We are going to start our week 2 of transactions. Okay, so last that we left off, right, in our journal, right, we completed the first 2 pages for our transactions. So that means week 3 is going to start on week 2 is going to officially start on page 3. Okay, we did our trial balance. Everything came out good, right? And then here is the scenario for week 2. We will be introducing inventory this in the next couple transactions here, and then the couple days later we will introduce some employees. Okay, so this is this case scenario here, where we're actually going to be looking at how to go ahead and continue journalizing the next transaction. So we're officially going to start June 8th. Okay, so June 8th, all right, we end up purchasing a truck from Honest Rob's Auto Dealership, okay, for $28,900, okay? So that was the price of the vehicle, the truck, okay? There was taxes, which came to a total of $2,340.90, okay? We also have documentations and fees, okay, that came up to a total of $968 even. And of course, excuse me, we put also a down payment for $2,987 here. Okay, so what this loan is, we got approved for a loan from Main Bank of Nevada. Okay, under the account number 12397986765. All right, for a 3-year loan, 3% interest, okay, and principal and interest payable on the 20th of each month, okay? And then, of course, the payments, usually these are pre-calculated, right? They tell us that, okay, because you're getting a 3% interest rate, right, that means you're going to start paying $849.81 to pay back this 3-year loan, okay? So in this case, I'm not going to have you calculate what the percentage, how much interest there is. It's already going to be calculated for you. In this case, we don't get to see the next month's transactions here. So in this case, no need for any calculations because we're just acquiring the truck. Okay. So in this case, how do I journalize this transaction here? What am I looking for? Let's go check our chart of accounts. What did I buy? How did I pay for it? So on and so forth.
Would you use that truck loan?
Yes, we will use the truck loan, okay? So again, truck loan is right here, right? Account number 2820, okay? What else did I do? We purchased a truck, which is a fixed asset, right? Which is going to be under vehicles. Okay, here we are. Truck, which is 1710. Okay. And then what else? What else do we need to also put in there? We need to put a checking because we made a down payment. So in this case, we wrote a check out to Honest Rob's Auto Dealership. Okay, so in this case, we will be using our checking account 10100. Okay, so general journal. So let's use our transaction analysis. So in this case, I acquired a truck, which is an asset. So that's going to mean I got a truck, okay? In this case, I increased my liability as well, right? So I have a truck loan, okay, which was $2820, okay? And of course, under that truck loan, we also made a down payment. So in this case, let's tally up our totals. What is the total amount of my truck? Okay, 28,900. What we also have to include tax, right? Because it's a fixed asset. What else do we need to include?
Documentation fees.
You need to include the documentation fees. They're not going to let you drive off the driveway without initiating the registration fees and things like that, and transferring of ownership from, certain places, right? Getting a pink slip, getting the documentations. All of that is all going to be part of the cost of the asset, because you want to get it ready for service. It needs a registration in order for you to get it ready for service. So in this case, that's going to be included in the price. So if I do my calculations here, okay, that my truck is 28,900, okay, plus the tax of 23.40 90 plus $968, okay. My truck is worth $32,208.90. Right? Okay. So then, how much is my truck loan for? Okay. How much did I make that? What was my down payment for?
Payment is $849.
Okay, that's payment. What was my down payment? $29,87. Okay, so therefore, how much is going to be my loan for? How much is my loan going to be for? If I made it, if the truck is $32,208.90, right? And I already made a down payment of $2,987, then how much is going to be my loan for? What would you say, 20?
25.
Why would it be 25? No.
I mean,
That's the entire amount of the truck.
Correct. You gotta have to take the entire amount of the truck, right? Minus the down payment. So how much is my truck loan now? Not 25.
29,000.
29,000, correct. 29,221.90. Yes. So in the case that is the total loan. Okay? Because at the end of the day, what you're supposed to pay out of pocket supposedly is, yes, you're supposed to pay for the for the documentation fees, and I believe you need to pay for the tax. Okay. There's places where you may not have to put a down payment in, all right, but you still have to pay the tax. If there's a zero down payment, you still have to pay the tax at the end of the day, right? But in this case, I made the down payment, which basically covered the sales tax. So in this case, I actually owe $29,221.90 on my loan. Okay, and things that I need to put in here in my description. First off, I need to cut Rob a check because I made a down payment, right? It is the 8th. We made a down payment for $2,987. Okay. 2. Honest Rob's Auto Dealership. Okay. So then that means in my journal, I'm going to have Honest Rob's Auto. Okay. We got a loan. Okay. That was 3%. Okay. 3 years. Okay. And we also need to say that we cut the down payment was check number 1508. Okay. There you go. I finished my journal. I cut the check out. So now I need to go ahead and record this in my ledger. Okay. So in this case, I acquired a truck, which is an asset. Okay, so asset here is going to be a vehicle. So vehicle should be towards the bottom of this. Okay, here's my printer. Equipment. There you go. Vehicles, truck. Okay. Okay, 6/8. What is this going to be? Right? We bought a truck. Nothing really too much about the truck you have to put into details. Maybe if you want to include all the costs. So maybe the truck was, okay, $28,900 plus tax, which resulted in, was it two 340 2,340.90 2,340.90. All right, plus the documentations, so doc fees, which was 900 and $968. Okay. Post reference is going to be page 3. We're going to debit this for $32,208.90. All right, and that's going to be on your debit side for your truck. Okay. We also had a truck loan, so it's going to be a liability. It's going to be the last account in your liabilities. Here you go, truck loan. Okay. Things you need to say here is, who did you get the truck loan from? Main Bank. Okay. Loan, 3 years, 3% interest. Okay. And you can also even put in there $849 and how many cents? Let's see. $849 and is that 81 cents? 81 cents. Okay. Per month. Okay. Payment. Okay. And of course, post reference once again, it's going to be page 3. Okay. And because it's a loan, it's going to be 29,22190. Right? 29,22190 is your truck loan, and it's on the credit side. Okay. Last but not least, okay, you have one more thing, which is going to be your checking. Okay, so you're going to go to checking all the way at the top of the thing because you had to spend money for the down payment. Okay, you wrote check number 1508. Okay, on the third journal, 42987. So therefore, now you just decreased your bank account from $10,000 down to $7,000. Okay, so already right here, we're slowly decreasing and spending all of our money. Okay, so let's see what happened next. Here, right? We did another purchase order, okay? Purchase order number 305 to All Things Ceramics, okay? We're going to buy 80 ceramic coffee mugs. Per unit price is going to be $2.45 each, and the total cost is going to be $196, and they require a $100 down payment. Okay? So in this case, right, I'm making a purchase order and they require me to put a down payment. Okay, so let's see. Purchase orders, right? That's the least that we could do is at least get put in our purchase order list that this is what we ordered. Okay. All Things Ceramics. What did we buy? We bought mugs. Okay, and we bought him for $196. Okay, so here we can see that we're pending 3 more items, right? We're pending our coffee brewer, coffee grinder, we're pending our tables and chairs, and now we're pending our coffee mugs. Okay, so now that I put my purchase order in, now I need to put down a down payment. So if you guys remember, how do I put a down payment on items that I'm purchasing? What account do I need to make the association to?
Prepaid.
Excellent. We're going to make it to prepaid. Okay, and of course, we had to pay it, right? Best form of to keep a paper trail is we're going to be cutting a check. So prepaid account should be $18,600 and then $10,100 for the checking account. Okay, so we made a $100 payment. Okay, so therefore, I need to go cut my check first to get all the information that I need. So here, check number 1509 for $100, and this is going to All Things Ceramics. Okay. So that's perfect. That's all I need here is, well, what did I do? I sent a purchase order to All Things Ceramics. Okay, what did I order? In this case, if I just put in purchase orders, right? Purchase order number 170305, right? That should pull up my information on the things that I ordered. Okay, I ordered 5 coffee ceramic mugs, right? And so on and so forth. Right? And of course, other things I need to put in here. Best form of transaction to keep track of it is to have the check number that you wrote. So in this case, 1509. Okay. So now that I have this, right, again, all the information in your PO should give you pretty much everything that you need to have. Okay. So let's see. I need to now go to my ledger. Okay. So in this case, I have a prepaid account, which is an asset. Okay. Even though checking is here, let's just continue to keep following it in order. Okay. So prepaid accounts first. I think I'm almost there. Yeah, right here. Prepaid accounts. Okay. Right. We put a down payment on PO number 17305. Okay. If you want to put the check number, you can, but that should be good enough. General journal number 3 here. And we put the down payment for $100. So therefore, my total amount in my prepaid accounts has now increased by $100, so it's at $79.2604. Okay. And now, let's see. I need to go ahead and go up to my checking account. Okay, because I end up cutting another check. Check number 1509. Okay, General Journal 3, and that's going to decrease my account by $100. So here I'm at 7102.42. Okay. So of course, I have to go ahead and go to my subsidiary ledger, right? Because now I dealt with All Things Ceramics. All Things Ceramics, here I am, right? My notes here is I had to pay a down payment, and I used check number 1509 on 80 ceramic mugs. Okay. What was the invoice? It was the purchase order number 17305. Okay. Post reference, General Journal 3. In this case, I haven't received my bill yet, but I do want to say that so I could skip the next 3. So again, this is a prepaid account. However, we haven't received the bill yet. So in this case, on my purchase order, it tells me that I was billed $100 and that I paid using my check 1509. Okay? So in this case, if I put my formula in, right, invoice minus prepaid minus returns minus discounts minus payments, right now I owe All Things Ceramics nothing. Okay. In fact, they owe me money in regards to they owe me for the coffee mugs, right? Okay. There you go. Okay. Now, last thing, so let me see, we're done with that transaction. However, we forgot to plug in all the information for Honest Robs, right? We put everything in to the ledger, but we forgot to put it in the subsidiary ledger. So in this case, I got to go back down and go to Honest Robs, furniture store, hire, temps, Honest Robs. Okay. So once again, we did this on the 8th. Okay. What did you do at Honest Robs? Well, you paid a down payment, right, on a truck. Right? Using check number 1508. Okay? Invoice number. So in this case, what was the contract number that you received from Honest Robs? This case, on account number. Okay, so this is for your main bank. So in this case, no invoice number for this one. Okay? All right. Post reference, once again, still General Journal 3 here. And in this case, right, you paid Honest Robs $2,987, right? Now, because you made a payment to Honest Robs, right? Now, the next question is going to say, well, so then when you end up having to pay for the truck and make your monthly payments to your truck, who are you making a payment to at the end of the day? Who am I making my truck payments to?
To the bank.
To the bank. So in this case, Honest Robs was just the facility that sold me the truck. However, once I leave Honest Robs, right, the only thing I can choose here is to either return the truck to him, okay, or, but at the end of the day, if I decided to keep that truck, then the person I make payments to for the rest of this truck's loan is the bank. So therefore, not only do I have to fill in Honest Rob's situation, right, saying I made your payment, I paid with check number 1508, that was my down payment. But the actual truck loan is going to be approved through your main Bank of Nevada. So in this case, today's the 8th, right? I agreed that I would have the truck, right, the truck loan, right? So in this case, that's what I'm going to indicate. I got a truck loan. Truck loan, okay, which was a 3-year, 3% interest loan, okay. You could say that you made your down payment, but in this case, does it matter? No, because you end up, or you're going to end up paying the loan for whatever the loan amount is for. The truck down payment has nothing to do with this loan, right? It didn't affect the loan at all, okay? So that means I need to go ahead and put in the rest of the information, rest of the details here. So, in this case, I haven't received a bill yet, but what you can do here is, if you choose to, you can either put the invoice number or the account number in the invoice section, because that will be your reference point of what your account number is, or you could choose to put it in your description in the notes, whichever one that makes it more sense. I'm going to put in my account number in my invoice number, so then next time I get my bill, right, I'm not going to refer to this line. I'm going to create a new line, because if I make a payment to it, then that's where I will receive the bill. Okay? So in this case, I will recognize that This was account number 123986765. So account, so again, actually, you know what? I'm going to put in my notes. Account number 123 98756 or 65. Okay. Again, you haven't received your bill yet, but at least you could say this was you made the loan on your general journal 3. Okay. No terms yet because you haven't received your bill yet, but you do have one thing, right? You have a date-driven term, right? That means every payment, every month is going to be due on the 20th of each month. So therefore, your net is going to be a date-driven, saying that it's going to be due on the 20th of every single month. So that means your first bill that you're going to receive, it's going to be due on the 20th of every month. So that's your terms. It's going to be net 20th. Okay? Net 20th. That means the bill is going to be due every 20th of the month. Okay? So that means when you do receive your first bill, right, that's where you fill it in, right? And or bill payment, right? Because you already have your bill. You would automatically know what this bill is at any given time, right? So it's going to be due at the it's going to be due on the 20th of every month. Okay, so you could say 20th. Okay. Prepayment, we did not have a prepayment on this, so yes, you had a down payment, but again, that doesn't, that was for the truck, not for the loan itself, okay? But the loan amount was for $29,221.90. And of course, I never made a payment, so in this case, what I owe the Maine Bank of Nevada is going to be the $29,000 and $221 here. Okay, $29,221.90. Okay. So okay, now we're completely done with that transaction and the second transaction. Okay, so let's see what has happened next. Here, what did we receive? Okay, on June 8th, Saturday, we end up receiving from Furniture Store. Okay, so here's our little invoice here, right? It's due in 15 days. All right, we received our 10 sets of bistro and 2 table chairs set for $605 each set, giving us a grand total of $6,055.50. This is invoice number 75, right? We got tax to be $499.58. And of course, we got a delivery charge of $50. Okay. So, with that being said, how much is my grand total for my tables and chairs?
$6,605.08.
Good. Okay. Now, our assumption is, are we going to pay that $6,000 now? We only have $7,000 in the bank. What do you guys think? Should we pay it now? Most likely not, right? Because what if we have to make a bunch of down payments for other things as well for us to acquire? In this case, we also are given 15 days to make a payment. So in this case, I'm going to hold off the payment and I'm going to choose to owe it on an account, right? So in this case, what did I buy?
Was it tables and chairs?
Bistro tables and chairs, account number 1310. Good. All right. Bistro tables and chairs, which is account number 1310, I said. And how am I going to pay for these chairs?
Checking.
I'm not going to pay it today.
Accounts payable?
Accounts payable. I'm going to pay it on account because I only have $7,000 in my account. I am not going to risk paying all $6,000 dollars, okay, when I can wait till I generate some income and then be able to afford to pay it. So in this case, I'm going to put it on an account, okay, for the $6,605.08. So once again, we have all the information that we need for this transaction, right? We have who we bought it from, which is Furniture Store. Okay. This was invoiced to us, number 75. And we have 15 days to pay. Okay. We have 15 days to pay. So, now that I have 15 days to pay this, I am going to record this in my ledger. Okay. So in this case, I acquired my furniture, my bistro tables and chairs. There you go, bistro tables and chairs. Okay. You can say 10 sets of one table and chairs at $605 each. Okay. Post reference was General Journal number 3. Okay. And we acquired it for a total of $6,605.08. Okay. All right, and because we placed it on an account, we're going to plug it into our liabilities. So in this case, right, I have invoice number 75, which was on General Journal 2 or 3, for the total of $6,605.08, which increased my liabilities from $3,420 to $10,033.75. So we went from $3,000 to $10,000, okay, in one sitting. Okay, so now we're owing a lot of money, and we are very low in our bank account. Okay, two of the worst signs, but that's the part of setting up your stores. You're gonna make a lot of expenses in the very beginning, and you'll slowly pay back everything as you open up your shop and start selling. So in this case, there you go, right? Last but not least, because I now owe furniture store, I need to record that in my books. Okay, so furniture store. I think here, furniture store. What did we buy? We bought 10 sets of tables and chairs. Okay. Invoice number 75, General Journal 3. We got net 15. So therefore, when is my bill going to be due?
On the 23rd.
On the 23rd of June, for a total of $6,605.08. So, since I already dragged the formula down, now I owe Furniture Store a grand total of $9,033.75. So I owe them a lot of money. Okay? Oop. Okay. So let's see what has happened next since we finished everything there, right? Now, today is the 10th, and guess what? I need to pay Kim Robinson because I promised I'd owe her in 3 days. So therefore, I need to pay Miss Kim Robinson. Okay, I need to pay Kim $1,000. Okay, so how am I going to record that I'm going to pay Miss Kim Robinson?
Wouldn't he be accounts payable?
Correct, because when I first initiated this, right, I said, okay, she got the job done, but I'm going to owe her money. So then now, 3 days later, right, bill's ready to be due. Now I'm going to say, I'm not going to owe her any money anymore. I'm going to pay her. So in that case, then you would associate this with an accounts payable, saying I'm no longer going to owe any money. I'm going to reduce my liabilities. Okay? And I'm going to pay $1,000. Okay? Now, how am I going to pay her?
Checking.
I'm going to cut her a check, right? So if I'm going to pay Kim Robinson with a check, let's cut her a check. Okay, it is June 10, right? Check number 1510 for $1,000 is going to go to Miss Kim Robinson. Okay. So, right, making my note here that this person that I owe was Kim Robinson, and I paid for this. Now I don't have my invoice number. Where would I be able to find the invoice number? Where would I be able to find the invoice number? Say that again. Okay, so you said it is 1745. Now, where did I find that number? How did I get that number? Where would I find all the information in regards to all my bills, all the vendors that I deal with? Where would I find that?
The subsidiary?
Subsidiary ledger, okay? Because here, what if I owed Kim multiple bills, right? I need to make a association to know that this payment that I'm paying right now is related to this particular bill. So in this case, if I go and look up Miss Kim Robinson, so Robinson R, here you go, Kim Robinson. Right here, it's 1542 is the actual bill number. Okay, for Kim Robinson. So 1542 is the bill that I am attempting to pay. Okay. So invoice number 1542, and I used check number 1510 to make the payment. Okay. So then now I'm going to plug this into my ledger first, and then we'll update the subsidiary ledger afterwards, okay? So here I am in my ledger. I'm already in my accounts payable. In this case, what I'm going to say here is, well, it's June 10. What are the notes that I'm going to put in here? Well, I made a payment. Okay, so I'm going to write payment, invoice number 1542, right? And I'm going to also make sure I put here that I used check number 1510 to make that payment. Okay, so again, General Journal 3 for $1,000 because I'm decreasing what I owe. So in this case, I went from $10,000 to drop down to $9,000. Okay, because I paid off $1,000 worth of liabilities. Okay. And of course, last thing is because I had to use a check, right? I need to update my checking account to reflect the true balance in my checking account. So it's June 10. And I cut check number 1510, General Journal 3, and I cut it for $1,000. So in this case, I went from $7,000 to $6,000. Okay. All right. Once I have all of this together, then I can go ahead and go to my subsidiary ledger, and I can go ahead and I'm going to do a separate line because in this case, right, I'm going to show you how I use this ledger account. I'm going to make a different line for this, okay? And I'm going to say I cut a check number 1510, and this was for invoice number 1542. This was General Journal 3, and because I made a payment, I'm going to go ahead and go into my payment column and say I put $1,000 in there, okay? Now, of course, it tells me that I have $1,000 outstanding, but if I put this down here, it says I made a payment of $1,000, so now I owe Kim Robinson nothing. Now, let me tell you this, okay? That is how I use the general ledger. This is also a way to keep my transactions separate from each other, making one the bill, the second one the payment. Now, what you can do too, right, is you instead of putting the payment down in a second line, you can go ahead and just add it right into this one right here, right? You could say I made a payment of $1,000 to create this bill as 0. But you want to be very careful with that because look at all the information that is different. The date is different because obviously you didn't pay. What date are you going to put that you made a payment for? Right? Are you going to try to squeeze it in here and say that I made a payment here? If you do, then this number is going to get affected, right? The due date is going to get affected. All right? And then, of course, you would have to change this saying I cut check number 1510. Okay? And, of course, the check that you wrote was actually on General Journal number 3. So you have to squeeze all of those information in there, and it just makes more sense to just separate it, right? Separate the transaction because in this case, the first transaction happened on the 7th, the second transaction happened on the 10th. Keep this separate and it will make your ledger a lot cleaner, a lot easier to read instead of you having mumble jumbles entering everything in there and editing the information to go ahead and put that $1,000 in that payment. It's not wrong. You can do it, but in this case, for practice purposes only and because we are beginners of accounting, okay, I'm teaching you to be the bookkeeper. Follow me. I say keep your transactions separate so it makes it that much easier to understand what happened between this, right? The first transaction happened was I entered my bill in. Second transaction is I paid my bill. Okay? And because the formula, right, is the amount number minus prepaid minus returns minus discounts minus payments, right? Because I have no number associated in my amount, right? That produced me a negative number, giving me a negative $1,000, right? But at the end of the day, right, we're looking at what I owe in Kim in general, right? I made the association that I paid this bill, okay? All right, by linking it to making it saying this is for invoice number 1542, and it was for $1,000. So again, my grand total in the gray says I no longer owe Kim $1,000 because I paid Kim $1,000. Okay, so again, this is how I utilize the general ledger. You don't have to follow me if you don't want to, but again, this is recommended because just the way it keeps your transactions organized. Okay, any questions here? No? Okay. So now that I made a payment to Kim Robinson, let's see what has happened next. Okay. So once again, June 10, Monday, right? So National Bank approves that you got a business credit card Visa for a total of $10,000 credit limit. You're going to be charged 18% interest on end of the month balances, okay? And payments are going to be due on the 10th of every single month, okay? On the next month. So in this case, I got approved of a credit card. So what do I do with this transaction? What do I do with this transaction here? I got approved of a credit card. for $10,000.
You didn't make a transaction yet.
Excellent. You just got approved of a credit card. What is the condition that you have to meet in order for you to record that you have a credit card transaction? You have to spend the credit card. In this case, we just got approved of the credit card. So right now, it has a $10,000 credit limit and a zero balance because you haven't charged anything on it yet. So in this case, this is extra information that we have about the credit card because we got approved of it. Now, of course, this is definitely pertinent information for a future transaction, right? So when we do end up receiving a credit card statement, we're not unaware of what's going on, right? So where can we put this information for the future?
The subsidiary?
Subsidiary ledger is going to be correct. So in this case, we opened up a credit card at National Bank Visa. So let me see, National Bank. Here we are, National Bank Visa Gold, okay? Right? You could put the date that we received it on the 10, okay? But obviously no bill, okay? Now, what kind of notes are we going to put in here, right? We got a credit limit, okay, of $10,000, okay? We're going to get charged 18% interest on overstated balances, okay? And that's good enough, right? That's all you need to know because we haven't received our bill yet. But what we do need to also know that it is that it's going to be due on the 10th of every month, right? So it says this is going to be due on the 10th of the next month. So that's at least something we can know here is that it's going to be another date-driven term. So in this case, net 10th. Okay. So that means the next billing due date or next bill is going to be on the 10th. Okay. It's going to be due on the 10th of every month. Well, we haven't received our bill yet, so just putting that information is good enough so we know when we do receive our credit card statement, we know exactly why we got charged this much interest. Okay. So let's go ahead and see what happened next. Okay. So now we finally received our ceramic coffee mugs, and ceramic coffee mugs to us is going to be periodic weighted average inventory. Okay, so as you can see here, right, we got shipped this on June 10, right? They gave us terms, they gave us a discount opportunity if we pay it in 10 days. If not, the entire bill is due in 20 days, okay? We have bought a total of 80 ceramic coffee mugs. Okay, so here it is, 80 ceramic coffee mugs at $2.45 each, which gave us a total of $196, right? So subtotal was $196. We put a down payment, which took away $100. Okay, so that gave us a total of $96, but there was freight charges. So in this case, they charged us $100 of freight. So now we owe in grand total for this bill to be $196 even. Okay? So that's a lot of things that we are looking at this account here. So first things first is, what do you think we did? Well, the hint here is we received periodic inventory. Okay? Anybody remember the rules on how do we journalize periodic inventory? What was that? This is inventory purchases, periodic inventory.
You can journal it later.
Not journal it later. Because we received the items, right? And we got billed for it.
Purchase expense and freight expense?
Excellent. Purchase expense and freight expense, because with periodic inventory, we don't care to put it in our inventory. We just say it's an expense. So in this case, we have a purchase expense and a freight expense. And with this type of inventory, though, right, purchase expense and freight expense, because it's periodic, right, we're going to recognize it as an expense. So I think what you're referring to, record it later, meaning recording the sales section later. Yes, we wait till the very end of the accounting period to actually calculate how many items we sold, and then do our conversion at the end of the given accounting period to figure out how much our ending inventory is. So in this case, that's exactly what we're going to do. We recognize when we journalize our purchase of periodic inventory, purchase expense, and freight expense. So let's check our chart of accounts. What account numbers are my purchase expense account and my freight expense account? Okay, so freight expense, 6,300. Purchase expense, 61,000. Okay. And last but not least, are we paying for it now or gonna pay for it later? We only have $6,000 left in our account. And we have a terms, okay, an opportunity to take an additional discount. So in this case,
We'll pay it later.
we'll pay it later. So in this case, we're going to put it on an account. So let's take a look. Okay, so that's what we have now, right? Now in this case, we have a purchase expense. How much is my purchase expense for? If I bought 80 mugs at $2.45 each, right? What is my total purchase price? $196, right? In this case, how much freight was I charged? $100, okay? Now, let's take a look at my bill. What does it say that I owe? How much does my bill say that I owe? 196. Now let's do a quick second to tally up my total debits and my total credits. In this case, right, my total debits is going to be $296, while my credit is only $196. So I am missing $100. Now, where does this extra $100 come from? The down payment that we made. So in this case, now that I have my bill here, I'm now going to apply my prepayment. So the prepayment, since I'm going to apply it, is going to decrease my bill. Okay, so think of it like you're buying a voucher, right? I'm paying $100 as a voucher, and then when I receive my bills and my items, then I redeem my voucher then. So prepaid accounts is where I put my voucher, okay, for that $100 down payment. Okay, so therefore that is why I owe only $196, because I already placed a payment for $100 ahead of time. So I have all the information I need, right? So first things first is, who did I receive this bill from?
All things ceramic.
All Things Ceramics. Okay. What bill did I receive? What invoice?
126.
Mm-hmm. In my I was billed with the invoice number 126. Okay. In this case, right, I was also given terms. What were my terms? Mm-hmm. Yep. I am given terms that I can take advantage 1% if I paid within 10 days. If not, it's due in 20. So I'm also going to make a note that I have terms of 1%, 10, net 20. So I only have 20 days to pay this bill. Okay. There you go. So let's go ahead and update my ledger, and then I'm going to now show you, how to update your subsidiary ledger. Okay. Starting with the first one, right? We have finally our very first purchase expense. Ooh, ledger. Okay. I first have my very first purchase expense. So that is going to be an expense, operating expense to the company. So purchase expense is going to be towards the bottom of this in alphabetical order. So here I am, purchase expense, okay? You can fill in as much details as you like on here. So it is the 10, right? And I received 80 coffee mugs. Okay. We're on General Journal 3 still. Okay. And this cost me $196 on the debit side. Right? You can even go as far as putting the cost per item here if you'd like, for the reference point. But in this case, I think 80 is fine. Right? At the end of the day, right, you could also calculate this on your spreadsheet too. Well, what is 196 divided by 80? Right? And you'll get your cost per item there. Okay. I also had a freight expense. Here it is. Okay, for the 10. And we had 80 coffee mugs that were shipped. Okay. General Journal 3, and this was for $100. Okay. Okay. We incurred a liability because we chose to not pay now. We're going to pay them later. So I need to make a note here in my accounts payable that I am choosing to pay invoice number 126 later. Okay, so therefore I increased my accounts payable by $196. So therefore I increased my account from $9,033 to $9,229.
What about the paid account?
I'm going to do that next. And then last but not least, we need to go to our assets because now we redeemed our voucher and we applied the prepaid amount to my bill. Okay? So in this case, where are we? Prepaid accounts. Keep going. There you go, prepaid accounts. So I'm going to go ahead and say here that, so we have note here that we have a down payment, yada, 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 right? Down payment on PO 70305, right? So this is where I can say apply down payment on invoice number 126. Okay? Because that's true, right? I applied my down payment and it's going to affect my invoice or the billing number of billing number 126. So in this case, because I'm applying it, I'm redeeming it, I'm going to decrease my prepaid amounts, right? Because again, this is going to be associated to my bill. It's going against my bill. So therefore, it tells me that I've decreased my account from 7,926 to now 7,826 because I decreased it by $100. Okay. So let's go ahead and I will show you how to use the subsidiary ledger with the prepaid accounts. So now that we updated our ledger, it's completely fine. Now I'm going to go to my subsidiary ledger to enter in that I received my items. So I'm going to go ahead and type in received 80 coffee mugs. Okay? And then you can also say here applied down payment to invoice. Right? So in this case, what was the invoice number? 126. Where did this transaction happen? On my general journal 3. Was I given terms? Yes, I was. I was given a 1% opportunity discount if I paid within 10 days. If not, the bill is due in 20 days. So therefore, what is going to be the date that would be my last day to get this 1% discount? Exactly, June 20th, right? So June 20th, if I keep an eye on this, right, it can allow me to take the opportunity to get a discount, a 1% discount off of my items. Okay? If not, when is the actual bill due?
The 30th?
Yes, you only have 20 days to pay the entire thing off, which is going to be due at the end of the month on June 30th. Okay, so in this case, we need to, for surely, at the end of the month, we're going to make a payment to All Things Ceramics because we have no choice. Okay? So then again, let's go ahead and utilize this. Now in this case, right, what was my original bill amount for? If I didn't have a down payment, what would be my original billing amount? What was that? No, my original, without the down payment. What would it originally be billed to me as? Not 96. 296, right? That will be my original billing, right? So that's exactly what I'm going to put in here. I'm going to say my original bill would be 296. But because I had a prepaid account or a down payment, this is where I'm going to apply my $100 down payment. So if I followed my formula correctly, right, now it's going to take my invoice amount minus my prepaid, minus my returns, minus my discounts, minus my payments to tell me that this bill right now is outstanding for $196, which is true. Right? This is what the bill says that I owe, right? I owe $196. And that's how I want you to use the subsidiary ledger, is that when I have a prepayment, right? When you receive the bill, that is where you're going to use the prepayment column, because this is where you're going to apply it to the invoice. Okay? So the invoice, you have to ignore the down payment on the bill. So you have to put it for the actual amount without the down payment, and then go ahead and put this prepaid account in there, right, to reflect the actual billing amount here for $196. Okay, so that is how I use the subsidiary ledger for a prepaid account. Okay, any questions? Okay, so let's go ahead and do the next section real quick, because it's just a purchase order. Because what I was going to say is let's go ahead and visit the purchase order. But let's go ahead and do this real quick, because now it says we have to submit another purchase order anyway. So we can check mark our purchase orders at the same time as add another purchase order in. Okay? So in this case, right, on June 10, Monday, we end up just submitting another purchase order to Atlas Coffee Importers, and we decided to buy 125 pounds of regular coffee at $1.35 per pound, giving us a grand total of $168.75. Then we ordered another 125 pounds of Supreme Coffee at $1.55 per pound, to get us a total of $193.75. Okay, so in this case, my total purchase order is going to be $362.50. So let's go ahead and enter this information into our purchase orders, right? Because we're on the 10. We purchased from Atlas Coffee Importers. I'm going to do imports for short. What did we buy? We bought 250 pounds coffee. Okay. All right. For the grand total amount of $362.50. Okay. We submitted our purchase order. Now, two things that we got to do here is, well, we received our coffee mugs, right, with invoice 126, right? And we also forgot to also enter in that we also received our tables and chairs. It was invoice number 75, right? So now we are pending two orders. We're still waiting for our coffee brewer and coffee grinder. Okay, so that one is still pending, right? It still hasn't arrived yet, so we still need to keep waiting on that. And the last thing that I have here is that we are also still pending. We just submitted our order for our coffees. Okay, so there it is here, right? Now, the previous one, so that was just the purchase orders. I just wanted to make sure I got that out of the way. Now, this is where I'm going to finally introduce you to the inventory worksheet, right? Because we end up purchasing periodic inventory, okay? So, let's pull out our inventory worksheet, right? Because I have 3 things for you, right? We're going to sell regular coffee, we're going to sell Supreme coffee, and we're also going to sell our ceramic coffee mugs. Okay? So in this case, too big. In this case, right, let's take a look at our ceramic coffee mugs, right? We said we're going to sell them, right? And our costing method is weighted average, okay? And it's periodic. So in this case, we finally received our inventory, right? We received it on June 10. We purchased 80 of them at $2.45 each, and we had a freight cost of $100. Okay? So, what is my total purchase price here? $196, right? Plus 100 gives me a total cost of I put the add. $296. Now, for practice purposes only, even though I know we're definitely not going to only just buy 80 coffee mugs. We're going to be making constant purchases here. But for practice purposes only, let's go ahead and solve for my cost per item. $3.70 per cup. So if I sell a cup, this is how much it's going to cost me, $3.70 per cup. Okay? All right. So again, we have periodic inventory. It's our ceramic coffee mug. So this is our first introduction to the inventory worksheet. Okay? So for now, this is where I'm going to stop. Okay? So we're going to come back and we'll finish off this section right here when we come back from the break. Okay? So let's see. Right now it is almost 3 o'clock. So it's 2:55. So go ahead and take your 15-minute break and please be back no later than 3:10.